All right, and this is Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookye, CEO and Mistress Secretary of Goddesses Incorporated. And I think y'all already know the rest. I am the ultimate anime mascot for anything with females covering the fighting video game universe, Basojo Senshi, and we'll just leave it like that. So, this brings me to episode 9 of my season 2 of my show here on YouTube. I'm just feeling very good about myself, and before I get started, I just wanted to say that I was reminiscing about old video games, old systems, old console systems, and actually old handheld video gaming systems. And I said, you know what, this episode should be something similar along those lines. One of my favorite handheld systems, which really only survived 1 year, was created in 1999 and died in 2000. And it was Neo Geo's way of creating the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Now, before the Color, they already had Neo Geo Pocket, which was a black and white system. And then the color version, of course, was the upgrade, and it could play both the black and white and the colored games. But of course, like many other handheld systems at the time, like Nintendo's Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, and then the Game Boy Advance, which shortly came out after, destroyed and crushed the Neo Geo Pocket Color all within the same year. Holding on to this thought about Neo Geo Pocket Color, I wanted to give tribute to one of my favorite video games that I played quite often, which I always felt should have been created into either an arcade game or console direct port, which was QOF, the Queen of Fighters. It all had female characters, of course, all female fighters. You know, and all the women were from SNK. It had Akari from Last Blade, Shiki from Samurai Spirits, also Nakururu from Samurai Spirits, Mai Shiranui, Athena Asamiya, Leona. I'm trying to think who else was also in the game. Oh, they also had Kyo's kid sister Yuki. She was a hidden character along with Whip from KOF 99 Evolution. Imagine if there was an actual game port or console version of Queen of Fighters. I think SNK would be wonderful if they created a game like that. In fact, teamed up either with the Marvel Universe or teamed up with the Capcom Universe. Holding on to the same topic, which I will go in more elaborate detail next week on my next episode, will be about Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Because now we're getting to a point in the Versus series games where now we're reaching a part 3. And Capcom vs. Marvel 3, or Marvel vs. Capcom 3, is supposed to be the next pivotal landmark in Versus series gaming. Now, if you ask me, after Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that was enough, because a lot of tournament goers kind of cheapened the game with infinite combos and infinite help. Though, I would like to see a Capcom versus SNK 3. I think we could use some more rival school characters in that. It would be much more interesting. Another versus game series that we should actually be thinking of is how come we have not seen an SNK versus Marvel or Marvel versus SNK. It's time they start upgrading the SNK characters. But with King of Fighters 13 on the way, that gives that a lot of room for the future of fighting games in the 2D world or 2D sprites with 3D backgrounds. So going back to the Neo Geo Pocket Color and back to today's topic, which is the Queen of Fighters, could we imagine a Capcom versus SNK versus Marvel version of an all-female fighting game where all females from Marvel, SNK, and Capcom debuted in an all-female showdown for the K Talisman, with the boss being Miss X or something along those lines. The game did make a lot of money in Japan. The Neo Geo Pocket Color version of, well, it was the only version actually of QOF, or Gals Fighters in America, made plenty of money. It was for us female fan-based fighting game con-goers, gamers, that they would make such a game as this, and with a fairly decent storyline. If they added more conceptuals to it, I think it would have made even more money. Ayuri was, of course, the boss of the game, which was very comical, as he disguised himself as the mysterious Miss X, with Vice and Mature actually aiding him in the process of distributing the K talisman. It was this idea that all these women would fight for this jewel, K talisman, and that if they obtained it, that they can get anything that their hearts desire. So of course all these women all over Japan are fighting for this one magical item. Should this one day become an idea for a home port with full-size characters or an arcade port, I think it would do very well in the arcade scene. Move over Arcana Hearts and move over Melty Blood Actress and Akadenza again. It could also be a conduit to also resurrect the lovable Advanced VG series for all you people that play female fighting games of the Bashoujo universe not released here in America. So think about it, people. Make comments to my board. Please continue to support my show and let me think or actually let me know what you think of a Queen of Fighters video game, an actual version for the arcade or for the home systems. Gallus Fighters, SNK versus Capcom versus Marvel. I could see it now. Psylocke versus Mai versus Chun-Li. Aerial raves all over the place. And so, yes, let me know. Continue to support my show and leave comments on my board. Say Cookie.